let us learn what is meant by a point charge. Point charge is a finite, it is finite size body which may behave like a point, which may behave like a point charge if it produces an inverse square electric field. For an example, an isolated charged sphere behave like a point charge at very large distance as well as very small distance close to its surface. So what does this actually mean? So what is point charge mean? Say for example, if I am considering one atom, like in this part which I am rounding up. So here is an atom where after transfer of its charge, it become positively charged. Now you should call it as an ion. Like that, there are many ions within a body. So therefore, it is said to be as a charged body. Now here, a point charge is that which appears as a point where total charge is concentrated only at this point. Total charge. Now I am considering that it is plus Q charge. This total positive charge is concentrated at one single point. It is said to be as point charge. If the whole charge of your body is concentrated at one single point, then it is said to be as point charge. When you are looking from outside, like for example, here is here is a sphere. This sphere has positive charge. This is of finite radius. Say for example, its radius r is equal to 10 centimeter. Its radius is 10 centimeter. 10 centimeter means little bit bigger. It's not exactly a point. It is a sphere. Now looking from this position, say P. Looking from this position, it does not appear as a point. Looking from position P, it does not appear as a point because you are very much closer to the sphere. Looking from farther, like say this is one more position, say Q. Considering this position Q, if you are observing this sphere as you are farther, what would happen to the size of vision? It decreases. Similarly, for example, if you are coming to this new position, say yes, it is very large distance, right? From here to here, this is large distance. Nearly say it as 1 kilometer. You are observing a sphere of radius 10 centimeter, which is at a distance of 1 kilometer. How would you look it as? It behaves as a small point where the whole positive charge is concentrated at that point. Therefore, even though practically the object may be larger, if you are looking it from far away, it appears to be that total charge is concentrated at one single point. It is said to be as a point charge, right? So point charge we have learned, which obeys inverse square law. Of course, inverse square law we will be learning in the next slide. Now coming to next, charge on a conductor. One is point charge, which we have discussed, and the other one is charge on a conductor. A conductor is that which allows charge to transfer. A conductor is that which always allows charge to be transferred. It gets accommodated charge. It accommodates charge on its surface. So a conductor is that which allows charge on its outer surface. Remember, conductors always allow charges to be residing on the surface. Say for example, if you are taking a sphere, let me consider a sphere. Now you are giving some charge, say Q is equal to 10 coulomb. 10 coulomb of charge you are transferring it to this sphere, and this 10 coulomb will be resided only on the surface like this, positive, positive, positive. On the surface, the total charge get accommodated. Now its radius can be r is equal to say some 10 centimeter. Notably, this is a sphere. and you are providing some charge, as it is conductor, the total charge is accommodated on the surface itself. Say for example, if you are taking same sphere of radius 10 centimeter, if this is non-conductor, if this is non-conductor, same 10 coulomb of charge if you are giving to this non-conductor, total 10 coulomb of charge get accommodated within this sphere and as well as on the surface, like positive charge will be accommodated inside also. So that is what a non-conductor has charge within the body and as well as on the surface, whereas a conductor, the total charge will be residing only on the surface. Of course, for a non-conductor, you cannot add charge, you cannot take out charge because it is non-conductor. It does not allow electrical charge to transfer. But for simplicity, I have explained it here. So if there is 10 coulomb of charge on the non-conductor, then the 10 coulomb will be accommodated completely within the body and on the surface. But whereas in case of conductor, it will be only residing on the surface. So when you are providing charge to such type of conductor, depending upon its shape, it can be of any shape. That positive charge or negative charge will be accommodated uniformly. It will be accommodated uniformly on the surface, and for irregular surface, the distribution of charge, it is non-uniform and it is maximum where radius of curvature is minimum and vice versa. Of course, I'll be explaining this, you need not worry about that. Now see, coming to charge on the conductor, these three are the examples of charge on the conductor. 1, 2, and 3. Say for example, you have a rod. This is a rod. And you are providing charge to that rod. As it is conductor, the total charge will be residing on the whole surface. So for this rod, completely from here to here, there is charge accommodated. Here it is positive charge, here it is positive charge, here it is positive charge. Positive charge is accommodated on this rod completely. Now, in point sized charge, whole charge is concentrated at one single point. But for a line charge, this is called as line charge. The charge is residing completely on the line because the shape is in the form of length. Therefore, charge is residing on the line. Therefore, it is called as so due to technical problem, net has been disconnected. You be in the room. I'll connect. I'll share the screen once again. Yeah. So with this slide, we are going to conclude today. So you need not worry. Nearly it is 1 hour getting to be completed, and you are very patiently listening to the class, and that's good. As a student, you should have such patience. Now, a line charge is that total charge is residing along the line because the shape of the conductor is in the form of a line. Next is surface charge. Surface charge is that, like, say for example, this is a plate. Plate can be a square shaped or circle shaped or a disc shaped. It is called as surface, where when you are providing some charge to that, the total charge is accommodated on the surface. Therefore, it is called as surface charge. For example, if you are taking a sphere, total charge is accommodated on the volume. Total charge is accommodated on the volume. Therefore, charge on a conductor can be line charge or surface charge or volume charge. So if you are considering a line charge, then we call it as linear charge density. This is one. And number two, if you are dealing with surfaces, it is called as surface charge density. And coming to third one, it is if you are dealing with body which has volume, it is called as volume charge density. So now from this slide, we have learned four different things: point charge, line charge, surface charge, and volume charge. Point charge is that charge where whole charge is concentrated at one single point. Line charge is that whole charge is concentrated on the rod which is along the length, which its charge is distributed along the length. Whereas in case of surface, charge is distributed on the surface area we need to bother about. And in case of volume, as total charge is accommodated on the volume completely, we will be dealing with volume charge density. So point charge, line charge, surface charge, and volume charge. Four different concepts we have learned in this slide. And when we deal with charge distribution, if we have charge to be distributed, like say this is a rod. On this rod, total charge is distributed. Say for example, if you are giving 10 coulomb of charge, the 10 coulomb of charge is accommodated along this rod throughout its length. Therefore, total length of the rod is L, and total charge which you are giving, let me consider it as Q. Therefore, here density of the charge can be represented with lambda, which is known to be as Q divided by L. Total charge resided along the length, total length. This is called as linear charge density lambda. Similarly, here this is a plate. On this plate, charge is resided above the surface. On the surface, charge is being distributed over. And bottom also there will be some charge. Total area, I am considering it as A, which is equal to length into breadth. Because it has length L and it has breadth B, which is area. Therefore, it is now surface charge density. Surface charge density is denoted with sigma. Sigma will be equal to total charge which is residing on the surface. I am considering it as Q divided by total area of the surface, which is capital A. If it is plate, you can write it as sigma is equal to Q divided by area. Area of the plate is length into breadth. Now coming to the next one, this is surface charge density sigma. See, remember these, we will be using these concepts in solving problems in tomorrow's class. So be careful with these concepts: line charge density, surface charge density, and volume charge density. We will be solving problems on these concepts tomorrow. And coming to volume, total charge is accommodated fully on the volume. Therefore, how much amount of charge it has? Q. And total volume of this is V, which is equal to rho. Therefore, charge density, you can simply write it as is equal to charge resided divided by dimensions. Dimension mean it can be length, or it can be area, or it can be volume, right? Area or length or volume. So we have three different types of charge densities. As I explained, they are: number one, line charge, which is also called as, see, still now also some students are entering into the room. What for they are coming to the room, I do not understand. It is almost end of the class. charge density. Linear charge density is along the length. So therefore, you can represent it with lambda, which is equal to Q divided by L. And second is along area, which is surface charge density, which is denoted with sigma. This gives you Q divided by area, A. And the third is volume, volume charge density. Volume charge density is denoted with rho, which is equal to Q divided by V, right? So linear charge density lambda, surface charge density sigma, and volume charge density is denoted with rho. And these all comes under extended charges. These all comes under extended charges, or you can consider them as distribution of charge. Distribution of charge. So distribution of charge can be along length or along area or along volume. So point charge and distribution of charge, these are also called as continuous charge distribution. It is also called as continuous charge distribution. Fine. So this will be the last slide which we are going to discuss.